postgraduate student, wherever they go, first thing the question comes is, what is your sampling technique and how do you decide the sampling numbers, or what is your sample design? So that is a common question. You can say this is a standard question wherever they face, they go to any interview or wherever they face any research committee or something. This is the standard question. So many people just think that sampling is nothing but just trying to get information about the questions from some of the respondents, and that is all. But sampling has a technical process. It is a scientific method through which you collect information. I'll be just covering a little bit details on the sampling. For the benefit of those who are new to this research, I'll be giving some terminologies. I'll just revisit some of the terminologies, though the madam Anjana madam has already given some overview, but still I feel that I can focus on a little bit so that we can continue. Some of the jargons I will be using while I am explaining the topic, so probably that will help the new people with us today. So we start. This is content I have already discussed. History of sampling. If we talk about sampling is not new. Some of the people think that management is new terminology, or management subject, or management effective management topics are new. So sampling is a management topic. No, sampling is a very old topic. If you see the history dates to 440 BC, when a Persian king, he tried to estimate his army size by using the sampling method. Similarly, if you see he used a snowball sampling in 1870s. 1930s, Neyman, he used probability sampling. And Gallup's, which is a surveying company which takes care of a lot of surveys, they popularized this probability sampling. Similarly, 1960s, Yellow Pages started, and they were trying to get their details, publications, or telephone directory. A good example of this use of sampling in 1960s. 1970s, they started using sampling for animal behavior. In 1990s also, there was a poll tax which was imposed to the British people. So there also they use sampling to find out who are in the list of the polling list. So sampling is nothing but a magic trick through which the researchers try to get surprising results, which otherwise they have to get it by making a long study of the large population. So instead of that, just by using a sampling trick theory, or using sampling, they can get the entire result, and that result is more or less going to be similar if you study the entire population. So these are the examples of sampling which we use in our daily life. Like when you visit to a bookstall, you try to flip through some of the pages to understand what is inside the book, or what is the content of the book. Is it interesting, or is it worth to spend that much of amount for buying the book? Similarly, when you go to a cake shop, you try to sample some of the cake or some of the pastries to find out whether it is matching to your taste level or not. Similarly, electric bulbs, they try to sample before they send it to this public or sell it to the public. Similarly, rice and white flour, generally you sample them to know the quality of the grains. Blood test is a good example of sampling, where they don't take your entire blood or entire blood of your body, just they take few drops, and that gives the detailed result, which talks about the status of your body, whether it is or whether it is going through some ailment or disease. So these are a few examples of real life where sample is used. But sample is used mostly in research. And in research, there are different terminologies which are used by researchers. Mostly those who are new, they will be finding it confusing. So they will be finding it, most of the words, confusing or overlapping, because some of the researchers they use these words interchangeably. But I'll try to explain you this in simple lines. One is population or total population. Sometimes some people call it total population, some people call it population. So population is nothing but it consists of all elements. All elements includes all the items, individuals or objects which you want to study, right? Like, say for example, you want to study the people and their habits. So it will include all the people, either male, female, children, everything. Unless you would define that we are going to study male or we are going to study female. If you say people or you say human, then human means all the elements. So same thing can be applicable for anything. Like you say, we want to study about vehicles and the pollution level. So then vehicles includes all things. Unless you say that those vehicles which are plying on road or those vehicles which are used for only transport. Unless you say that, it will mean that you want to study all the elements. Sample is a portion of the total population, or it's a subset or a small part of the total population which represents the population. Census is another thing. Census, some people get confused with population. Population here is all the members, but census is data is collected from every unit of the population. Like most of you have gone through this calculation or counting of people and their details, which is done every 10 years. Sampling frame is the list or the details from where you try to get the samples and their contacts. Say for example, you want to study the university teachers and their teaching problems relating to the teaching or problems of relating to use of say computers or different modes of teaching. Then the list of all the people who are employed in that university will be the sampling frame. Similarly, you want to study the details of people who are residing in one particular area. So the voter list can be your sampling frame. Employees, you want to study who are working in a particular company, then the employees and their numbers of the list of employees can be the sampling frame. Element is the particular sample or particular unit which you want to study, that is known as sampling element. Like you want to study all households, and that one household or one family or one shop can be one element. Advantage of sampling over census, madam also told this one. Like sampling is very less expensive compared to the census. Census you are more time consuming, and when you try to study the entire population, it is very much expensive. Also, sampling gives you greater accuracy because you are studying a small number. But when you study the entire population or census, you make the census, there is a possibility that you will be using many researchers, and when you use many people, they will be making mistakes, and that will lead to that will hamper your accuracy level of your study. Similarly, this sampling is good when the population is homogeneous or they have the similar taste, habits, or expenses, or education, or gender, or whatever the criteria you are taking for. And sampling is faster because you will be doing it quickly because you will study for less people. So here I have given some examples for all these terminologies which we have discussed. Like you want to study the employees and their working habit, or their spending habit of the employees of a company. Then your sampling element is male over 24 years. You want to study the male employees over 24 years. Sampling unit will be male between 25 to 40 years, and sampling frame is staff or the employee numbers which are allocated. Based on that, from there you will be getting the samples. And extent is the time or the city or the area. Here I have taken the extent as Hyderabad, and you have to also give a time frame, like within how much time you are going to complete this sampling or sample collection or get information from the samples. So you have to give a time also. So this is one example of all the jargons which we have discussed. Now there are different types of sampling. Generally, we divide them into two categories: probability and non-probability. There is also a method called a mixed method where they use both probability and non-probability method. But for the time being, we will try to focus on this probability and non-probability method. So here is one example. Like probability sampling is nothing but where all the members or all the people who are being selected for study, they have an equal chance of getting selected for the study. That is what we call as probability sampling. So all the members have equal chance of getting selected for the study. Like here, I have taken one example. Like one of the company, they want to study the grocery stores, and so they selected 20 stores randomly, supermarkets in Hyderabad, and they want to study whether these supermarkets, whether they stock cola or not. So all these supermarkets who are located in Hyderabad, maybe they will get a chance to participate or in this study. So this is a good example of probability sampling. Non-probability sampling is where it does not provide every item in the universe with a known chance of being included in the sample. Right? There may not be possibility for all the units to being selected for this study. Like for example, you have employed 20 researchers and you ask them to visit the grocery stores near their home and observe whether Pepsi is in stock or not. So these stores which are not located near to their home has no chance of getting selected, or less chance of getting selected, because they are not in proximity to the researchers' residence. So they lose the chance of getting selected for this study. So here all of them do not have equal chance of getting selected. So that is coming under the non-probability sampling. So there are different probability sampling methods: simple random sampling, systematic sampling, stratified sampling, cluster sampling. We'll try to see each of them in detail. Similarly, there are non-probability sampling methods: convenience sampling, judgmental sampling. We also call that as purposive sampling, quota sampling, screwball sampling, and other types of methods. Other methods are also there. So we will try to focus on these first four. So simple random sampling is nothing but where the probability of each unit or each unit of the population, there is a chance that they will get selected or they will be chosen. So this can be with replacement or without replacement. You can choose one, and second time again you can choose them, or you can replace them and you can choose another one. So I'll give you an example here. So here, like you can use different types of tools. Generally, you can have a blind draw method, or you can have a random number method, or +1 method. We will see these tools a little later next time. So these are some examples. Like you can put all the names in a head or in a bowl, and you can draw. Suppose one number is drawn, then you can keep it aside. Or if you don't feel like, then you can also put it back. So that this is called as with replacement or without replacement. Without replacement means you don't allow that number to again take part in the draw. That is called as without replacement. With replacement is you can replace that and again give it a chance to go for the draw again. So this is a simple random method. So here, as you can see in this picture, the population has equal chance of being selected. Suppose you are selecting 5 members for an interview, then you can choose randomly from this population, and anybody can be selected, whether number 2 from first block to 3, number 2, number 8, or number 10, whatever numbers, you can choose them. So every member has an equal chance of being selected into the sample. So this is known as simple random sampling. Here the method is a simple one. So in simple random sampling, there are different tools are used. Some people use a table. This table are also available. You can see a table. This table, statistical table type. These tables are available in website or web. You can download them, and you can use these tables to make your draw. Like they have rows and they have ranks or random digits. So if you have a large number of sample, you can draw. Like suppose you want to draw 20. So first time you can draw is 5 to 4 5 or 5 7 2 4 5. Then second you can draw is this number you can take. Third you can take like this. Like this you can take these samples based on the random digit table. So whatever whatever the numbers are given, you can take any column or any row, and from that you can draw the numbers, and the member corresponding to that number. Suppose this is the roll numbers or this is the employee numbers. So from this you can ask the employee the questions. So this is one method which is called as random digit table. The second method is using Excel. So I will try to show you. Hope all of you can see the Excel sheet. So here, this is very easy. You have a formula, Excel formula. This is free of cost. So all of you can use this for your research. So just simple thing what you have to do is you have to use a formula which is known as equal to RAND. You go to any column, say first column, you write equal to RAND, and then you give two brackets. So I think you can see if I increase this one. So it will give you a random number. So same thing what you can do is you can drag the formula to get your exact number. Suppose you want to get the number till 15 random digits. So it will give you some 15 digits. Suppose if I put a formula, so here I made a mistake. I will do it again. Equal to so it gives me a random number. Then just I will drag this random number. So you see it has given you different random numbers. So first one is 0.17956, second one is 0.9127, third one 0.802507, like that. So 15th one is 0.630718. But the problem with this one is that this is giving you a digital number between 0 to 1. It gives you a decimal number or digit between 0 and 1. So if you want to get a whole number, suppose you want to study say 250 students in your organization and you are confused which roll numbers I should take, then you should take another formula which says equal to RAND BET between, then you start the bracket, and suppose you want to find out the digit between 1 to say 100. So within that roll number you want to find out. So when you click enter, it gives you the number. Like this formula is known as equal to RAND BET RAND between, then you start a bracket, start the number from which you want to start. You want to start from roll number 1 and you want to end with roll number 100. So write 1, 100, and then you close the bracket, and once it is done, you drag that formula, so it will give you the roll numbers which you can choose. Like every time you put it, it will give you a different group. Say here it is given 11, 43, 16, 14, 31, 40, 48, 27, like that till 47. So this is these are the two formulas. First one is giving you a decimal number between 0 and 1, which is just a simple rand function equal to array and the rand, then then two brackets, that is giving you 0 to 1 all the figures. Whereas if you want a whole number 1 to 200 or 1 to 500, 1 to 5000, whatever it is, then you can use the second formula, which is equal to array and the rand between, then bracket start 1 comma 200 or 1 comma 300, whatever it is. I will show you this again. So you start with equal to, as you know in Excel, if you start a formula, you start with equal to, then write capital R and D, TETWEEN between, then bracket start, then you say you want to start from 1, then you end it, so 1 comma 25, then bracket close, then enter. So see, it has given us 9. Same formula you can copy or you can drag just like this till say 25, or suppose you want 10 number of samples, so till 10 number of rows. So it has given you, it will directly give you the number. So like here it has given 7, 10, 11, 24, 2, 3, again 3 repeated it has. So repeat thing you can ignore. The larger if you take, it is better for you. It has a possibility to give you a random digit, right? So this is one formula which will help you. There are other formulas also, like if you are using Excel 365 or Excel 2021, then you have the formula called rand array, ARRAY, array and the same you write array and rand, ARRAY. I don't have the Excel 2021, so I'm not able to show it to you, or Excel 365, Excel 365 or Excel 2021 if you are using 2021, then you can use this function called rand array, which also gives you an option to generate multiple columns, multiple rows of random digits, which will help you. Suppose you have 30 or 40 departments or where large number of people are working, and then you can use it this formula. This is a better option for you if you are wanting to get random numbers in different columns and different rows. Similarly, rand EQ is another formula where you can even rank these numbers. Suppose you want to study first some student, second some student, third some student. So then you can put a formula called rand EQ equal to rand EQ, and then there are some rules are there, like you have to put a value, then the ranking the number. So that is also again in the new Excel formats like Excel 365 and Excel 221. Those options are available. You can even rank these random numbers. So this is about how you can use Excel in a random number. We'll go back to the presentation again. So this is the thing we're discussing. Like I hope you have got it. Like Excel is free, so most of you who are confused, like you have 200 people from whom you want to choose. So you can use this formula, random formula, and it will be authenticated when you are giving an example or when you are answering question how you have selected the sampling method or how you have selected the sampling. Then you can easily explain this to the question, those people who are questioning you or the evaluators. So they'll be very happy to know that you have used some technology to find out these random numbers. So I have given this in this formula, like one function is rand function and the second function is rand between. Like I have taken here 1, 100. I have taken the numbers between 1 to 100 I wanted to generate. Like it has generated the first number is 59, like that. So this is one technique you can use for generating random numbers by using Excel. Second one I told you, rand array, which is used for the new version of Excel, MS Excel 365 and Excel 2021. Those who have this new version, they can try this rand array, which is going to give you in 2 columns. Here you can see in 2 columns the values have shown. So you can, here it is, because it is given 5, 2. So 5 numbers each, 2 columns. If you want to make 10 numbers each, 3 columns, then you write 10, 3. Suppose you want to generate 10 numbers each for 4 columns, 10, 4. That is how you can use this tool to generate more number of random numbers at one go. Then another tool which is being used is known as the Google. Again, we'll go back to the Google tool. Just give me.
Sir, is there any problem? It's not audible.
I think it's not coming, that Google tool. I'll just show it in the PPT only, because I'm not able to link it. Otherwise, everybody can try at home. It is. Yes, it is coming. See it here. See, if you go to Google, there are different types of sample size calculators are available. They are free. So what you can do is, there they will be asking you 2-3 different questions. So you will be ready with your answer. Then you can easily calculate this sample. Like first one thing they will ask you is the confidence level. Confidence level, whether you want to use 95% or 99%. That is what they will be asking you. So 95% means you are ready with ready to accept that 5% error will be there. Or if you are saying 99%, then you are willing to accept only 1% error. That is what error is related. I will be showing you one slide on error related later. And confidence level, confidence interval is again how much error you will accept, like 3, 4, 5, you can give that. So here we are going to at 95% level and 4 interval, population I say 100, and I will say calculate. Sample size, it is giving me 86. So the instant answer, it will give you how much sample size you should use. If my population is 100, then I should select or use minimum 86 samples to make my study authenticated. So similarly, suppose I increase the population, then the number of samples will be reduced. Like it will come only 375 for 1000 person. It's good to go with 375. Suppose I make it 10,000, then it says that you can use 566 samples, which is good enough to give you the answer, which will generalize the population's views, or which will give you the generalized result, which is equal to the population's survey. Or if you study entire population, it is equal to study same is equal if you study only 566 samples. So this is a very simple tool which you can use. Just you have to remember these four things. Confidence level, it must be clear how much confidence level you want to take, 95 or 99. Similarly, confidence interval, how much confidence interval you are willing to accept. Like say for example, you study 46 respondents, or you get 46% as your respondent. If you are taking confidence interval as 4, then 46, 4 plus 4 and minus 4. So 46 minus 4 is 42. Your answer will be 52 and 50. 46 plus 4 is 50. 46 minus 4 is 42. So if you study this 10,000 people, then your answer, if you are getting